My name is Sean Skelton, and I'm very real. And unfortunately, this is also very real. I didn't know what else to do other than to just come on live and show everybody what my body is going through at all wakening hours of my day. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody online and my friends and family that have reached out and prayed, because I think that's the only thing we have going for us right now is a prayer.
When you posted that video, let's just start from the beginning. First of all, which vaccine did you get, and why did you, how were you so early in the lineup?
I'm a CNA, have been for 25 years. I, on January the 4th, was very pressured by my employer to get the vaccine. So I went ahead and I got it on January the 4th. On January the 5th, I just had mild flu-like symptoms, arm pain, and went to work. By the end of the day, my legs hurt so bad, my body hurt so bad, I couldn't stand it. The next day I woke up, my tongue was spazzing, and it just went on from there. The next day I was in full body convulsions and stayed that way for 13 days. And then the video that you just watched first was after my convulsions. That's what my every waking hour was like. As someone almost with Huntington's disease.
And as a CNA, what type of work do you do?
Patient care at Good Samaritan Nursing Home in Oakland City, where I live.
And which vaccine did you receive?
The Moderna, the first shot. And it was within 2 days that I was convulsing.
When the convulsion started, how quickly did you reach out to, so what was the plan? Did you go right to the doctor that gave you the vaccine, or what? How did you?
So they brought in CVS Pharmacy, and a pharmacist gave us the vaccine. The next day the 2 days after, when my tongue started spasming, I reached out to my DON first, and she said, you need to go to the emergency room. Then I reached out to my primary care doctor and said, hey, my tongue is spasming at resting state. It has literally rubbed it raw from my teeth. He recommended that I go on steroids immediately. He put me on steroids, Benadryl and Pepcid. And then, like I said, the next day I woke up in full body convulsions, and we called the primary care doctor while I was on the phone. He said, you need to call an ambulance. We called an ambulance right away. They took me to Deaconess Gateway in Evansville, where the doctor there just told me I was clearly having a panic attack and needed to settle down. So my husband loaded me up and took me to another hospital, St. Vincent in Evansville, Indiana, where the doctor there said, this is clearly a vaccine injury. Do not take the second dose.
So that was the first time you really heard that?
That is the first and only time that I have heard that.
Everyone else, what did they think they were treating?
Psychogenic movement disorder.
That was just spontaneously appeared?
Yeah, I must have stressed out about the shot, and this is why this has happened. This is what every other doctor says to me. PTSD, panic attack, anxiety, stress. And when I finally did get admitted to the neurology department at Gateway, which was after I had visited 5 emergency rooms, we had traveled all the way down to Nashville to Vanderbilt. Finally, then the following Monday, I went to my primary care doctor and made him look at me. And he had me admitted into the neurology department at Deaconess Gateway. And before I was even seen by a neurologist, I was seen by a psychologist. They had psych in there to evaluate me first.
I was under the impression that maybe you were the only one out there, Sean, and then this video pops up online, and Angelia, I saw your video trying to walk down a hallway.
Hope we get everybody ready.
Obviously, it's tragic to see one person, but when two people now appear to be having very similar symptoms for all of us here at the High Wire, now it becomes scary. Now there seems to be some sort of pattern. Tell me about your story.
I work in the healthcare. I manage the surgery center, and my parents are not in the best of health, especially my mom. Being exposed to COVID as often as I was, I did not want to be the one to give my mother COVID and possibly it not turn out good. But I took my lunch break on January the 5th, and I drove myself to get my first injection. I took the Pfizer. Within 2 hours, I started having a severe headache, but I knew that that was one of the side effects, so I didn't think that much of it. Wednesday, I slept for about 15 hours after I got home from work. I was just really tired. Thursday morning, I woke up and I felt really dizzy, almost passed out. But I never took off from work. I just took me some ibuprofen. I gathered myself up and I went on to work. About 11:30 Friday night, I got out of the bed and I couldn't feel or use my left leg. I didn't know what was going on. I said, okay, well, I guess this is going to pass. I was just in shock. I went back to bed. I told my husband something's going on with my leg. And then Saturday morning, I got up and I could not use either of my legs. And it eventually followed by full body convulsions about 2 hours later. My husband took me to the ER. And from there, I was transported over to the hospital. And as soon as I got into my room, a physician come in, a hospitalist, and he said, Ms. Tassell, I heard you were coming. I know what's going on. I know this is the vaccine, and we are going to do research until we figure it out. I never saw that doctor again. He never came back into my room. I was at Ochsner Hospital for 5 days, and I never got any treatment for convulsions. They studied my spine. They never did an EEG to see if I was having seizures. At one point, they could hear my legs shaking from the nurse's station. My insurance company denied the whole authorization, the whole hospital bill, because the only thing they submitted was leg weakness. So
The hospital submitted leg weakness as what they were
the diagnosis.
seeing.
Yes. Then I followed up with neurology. I had all kinds of tests and lab run. And I have literally been shuffled from doctor to